Welcome back to the final installment of The Last Express. Last time we failed to keep the train going because Anna says that if we get stopped in Serbia with all these passengers, they will all be killed. So if we're going to convince Anna to let us go on to Constantinople, we'll need to make sure that those people are safe. Right now the passengers are in the dining car, but we've killed all the Serbs on the train except Milos, so those people are free to move back to the passenger cars.
Monsieur, I beg you, stop this madness. The lives of these passengers, they are innocent people.
Slow down. You're wasting your breath.
You are not one of the bandits.
The bandits are dead. All but one.
Where is he?
He's running the train.
Ladies, gentlemen, if you would all please move out of the dining car and return to the sleeping car.
Was ist hier los? I demand to be told what's happening.
Monsieur, please, it is for your own safety. Your Excellency, may I escort you back to your compartment?
My granddaughter and I are traveling to Constantinople. And from Constantinople to Odessa.
Yes, of course. But won't you be more comfortable in the sleeping car with the rest of the passengers?
Those passengers will never arrive in Constantinople.
Listen, why don't you go and see to the other passengers? I'll stay a bit and try to look after things.
Mesdames et messieurs, s'il vous plaît, restez calmes et restez dans vos compartiments.
Tatiana is not well.
Tatiana.
Она не слышит вас. Бедный мой мотылек. Скоро ты будешь дома, в большом доме, понад речкой. Ничто не изменилось. Все там как прежде. Как ты помнишь, все встретят нас. Дарья Филипповна, старая твоя няня Агафья Михайловна, даже старый Иоганн. Помнишь Иоганна?
Они умерли. Все умерли.
Жар-птица.
I think we've danced around this issue long enough. What is the Firebird? Why is this bejeweled golden egg called the Firebird? On the second day, when we finished talking to Kronos, a lot of looking around his compartment will yield this book, which is called The Sick Man of Europe, which is what Europe called the Ottoman Empire at the time. And it's a book written about the life of the last Sultan of the empire, Abdul Hamid II, who was deposed in 1908. So this book was at most 6 years old at the time of the game, right now. The story within it says that shortly after Hamid came into power in 1842, he received the egg from Tsar Alexander II. Perlmutter, in his letter to Kronos, says that the egg is from 1650, so it would be almost 200 years old when it was given to Hamid. On top of the egg, through a small window, could be seen a picture of a beautiful woman. Later that night, the Sultan showed the egg and this picture to his mistress, and she threw the egg to the floor in horror. You see, at night, instead of showing the beautiful woman that Hamid saw, it actually shows this dead woman. The Sultan, not having noticed this, kills his mistress, only later seeing the horrible image that she saw. And although the Sultan's physician explains the mechanism for how the egg works and why it showed that, the Sultan takes it to be an omen and banishes the egg from his lands. We can only assume that it ends up in Serbia at this point. But the egg is just an egg. The bird is inside it, unhatched until we input the correct code. The desert heart of a southern land, that's Australia. A colder kingdom ringed with blue in a circle of ancient stones, sounds like Great Britain. The rooftop of the world can only be Nepal. The heads of silent gods in the warm seas sounds like Easter Island. And the temple built by the son of David is, of course, Jerusalem. A small aperture opens, and if we stick in our finger, the egg opens to reveal a golden bird. Now, along with the bird came a whistle. And if we blow that whistle, the Firebird does indeed sing. But when he's done, nothing happens. You might think that because of the woman's picture that if the egg is activated at night, something different would happen. But no, the same scene plays out. Now, Count Obolinski is quite an old man, and as a czarist, he might have known about the Firebird egg. Certainly both he and Tatiana know of the Firebird fairy tale, as did the late Alexei. However, when he saw that we were stealing the egg from Tatiana's bathroom, he said maybe we could make it sing. And that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Не берите. Может быть, она у вас запоет.
Obolinski shouldn't have even known that the egg was on board the train until that moment, since it came to Tyler by way of the Black Hand and to Tatiana from Anna Wolf after she stole it from Tyler's compartment after he died. Yet he invokes the name again when Tatiana says that their whole family is dead. Of course, Tatiana has been in France, and so we can only assume that what she's speaking of is a premonition, what she believes will happen, that her whole family will die. And in response to that, Vasily says the Firebird. Why does he say this? As far as I can tell, if there's an answer to that question, you're not going to find it in the game. Maybe there's history associated with the egg or the legend that we simply aren't privy to. We can only assume that whoever made the egg also made the scroll, since the scroll seems to have instructions on how to open it. Now, I believe that the egg is supposed to be cursed, or at least I think Tyler thought that. Tyler is nonchalant when he first meets Perlmutter about purchasing the egg. The next morning, he gets the scroll from Coppelia, and then later, the same day, Coppelia dies violently. When Perlmutter tries to get Tyler to show him the egg later that night, Tyler immediately rejects him, and he's extremely nervous. Tyler now seems like he's afraid to have the egg out. Sadly, that's as much information as there seems to be about this, either in the game or otherwise. A lot of people on the internet claim that Vasily thinks the Firebird is cursed, but I never heard him say that or saw anything to that effect. Now, one way that presents itself for saving these passengers from the train going into Serbia is to herd them into the sleeping car, which we've already done, and then simply detach the train.
Now I see. You think you can hijack this train and get my merchandise without paying for it?
August, let me tell you something. Fräulein Wolf is a spy. Your friends back in Germany set you up to get caught smuggling arms.
Fräulein Wolf? A spy? And me? August Schmidt? Betrayed? This cannot be. Tyler Whitney! We will meet again.
Oh, and there's one more thing. My name isn't Whitney. It's Robert Cat.
What?
My name is Robert Cat.
On je ubio inženjera, ej, on je ubio inženjera.
Umršli nastavi da ložiš! Keep shoveling!
What are you doing? Have you lost your mind? Stop the train!
As I was telling my friend before you shot him, I've got a ticket for Constantinople in my pocket and I intend to use it.
Constantinople. You won't make it out of Belgrade.
I wasn't planning to stop in Belgrade.
We are still within the Austrian Empire. In the name of the Emperor, I order you to stop the train. Do you think I won't shoot you?
Go ahead.
Now you've done it. Damn you! Give me that shovel.
Everything under control, I see. Well done. Pity you couldn't have stopped the train before we hit the border crossing, but we can't have everything. That's a Serbian army train. By the look of it, I'd say it was General Georgievich. He appears to be following us.
That train's on a different track.
Is it? I believe you're right. What on earth does he think he's doing?
Ej, oni su nas prebacili na stari kolosijek.
He says they've switched us onto the old track.
Mi moramo stati, stari most neće izdržati voz ove težine.
He says we have to stop. The bridge is old. It won't take our weight.
It'll have to.
Ej, dobra vožnja.
Bravo.
And we're on to Constantinople. The arms deal isn't discovered despite what the Austrians and Germans wanted. All the weapons are here with us on our small train with only the locomotive and the baggage car. There is one compartment left, and in here we'll find Anna.
It seems you'll make it to Constantinople after all. Congratulations, you've won. What about finding out who killed Tyler? Or have you forgotten about him?
Maybe it was one of the Serbs. Maybe Mahmud. Oh, what difference does it make? They're all dead. I can't help Tyler. I can't help anyone. You were right. I never should have gotten mixed up in this. And neither should you.
At least I'm serving my country.
What country? You're Jewish. You speak German. You come from Hungary. What is your country?
My father spent his life in the Austrian military. My brother was killed in action. I think that gives me the right to consider myself an Austrian.
I hope the Emperor appreciates your sacrifice.
What about you? Once you get to Constantinople, Where will you go then?
To Jerusalem. There's a man there who has a manuscript I'd like to get a look at. Do you want to come with me?
Oh, if I only could.
Don't you think the Empire can totter along for a while without your help? I mean it. Come to Jerusalem with me.
I'm thinking about it.
I am the monarch of the sea, the ruler of the Queen's Navy, whose praise Great Britain loudly chants.
We should be in Constantinople in an hour.
Where did you get this?
I've had it for a long time.
I've seen this tower before.
Where?
If I think for a minute, I'll remember.
It's just a design on a ring.
Only an American would say that. It's a family crest. The tower, the hand, every part of it has a meaning.
Maybe they mean he bought it in a flea market.
Don't go away. When I come back, I'll tell you where I saw that tower.
Where are you going?
Out!
Ah, Mr. Cat. We have been waiting for you. Not yet, my dear. Would you bring us the Firebird, please?
Well, Kronos has caught up with us, and he wants what he thinks is owed him. Well, in this playthrough, I did actually steal his gold, so that does seem fair. Now, there are a few ways we can die here. One is if we moved the egg back to our compartment and then left it there until we disconnect the car, and then Kahina will kill us. Also, walking back into the room without the egg will mean instant death. But if we get the egg, there are two ways to go here. Let's see the first one.
Thank you. And now, if you would be so kind as to open it.
Well, there really isn't any reason for us not to open this for Kronos. And not doing so will end up with our death, and I would guess Anna's too.
How beautiful you are.
What's that sound?
Look out the window. It's growing dark.
But what is it?
Don't you know? It is the beating of its living heart. Now, make it sing. Play the solace. Play it!
Sunset. That's enough. Close the egg now, please. Close it! Thank you. Mr. Kopp, I am delighted to have made your acquaintance. I hope that we will meet again, although I doubt it. Miss Wolf.
Don't bother.
Mr. Kath, I am not ungrateful. You have brought me my Firebird. Now I shall give you something. When you go to Jerusalem, ask about the 13th tribe.
What's the matter? What is it?
The train had burst into flames as it came into Constantinople station. Everyone left on board was killed. Miss Wolf, the Obolenskis, the Englishman, and the American doctor. We never knew what caused the explosion. By the time Sophie and I learned of it, we were on our island. The papers had other news to print.
The train explodes and the game resets. Who blew up the train?
Vergessen, Maxel, mein kleiner Schatz. Oh, ja, jetzt ist alles.
Tatjana.
Давайте мы рушим. Война должна закончиться.
Let's go. Take me away from here. Now, please.
What are they saying? What's happening?
It's war! Avusturya ve Sırbistan harpte. Harp! War!
I know a skipper who can take us to Gallipoli. We can get a boat there to Jerusalem.
Don't look at me like that. This war won't last longer than a month. I'll come to Constantinople as soon as it's over. I'll take the first Orient Express that runs after the war. If I don't see you, I hope you find what you're looking for. Take care of Max for me.
That ending leaves some questions open. Tyler was almost certainly killed by the bird. The slashes on his face match those now on the dead body of Kronos. But if the bird kills people when somebody blows the whistle, then who blew the whistle for Tyler? Whenever I blew the whistle in the game, outside of this scene, the bird never attacks, but this is the only time that we can do it at sunset. So maybe that's the ticket. Still, who blew the whistle on Tyler on day one? Francois says he saw the whistle moving like a beetle, just like we saw right there, so he was around right when it happened. Did he blow the whistle? I doubt it. How would he have gotten into Tyler's room? Does Anna playing for the bird matter at all? And could she have been the murderer? I find it unlikely. I have no better answers for you, I'm afraid. The mystery of Tyler's murder, of Kath's ring and the 13th tribe, the Firebird curse and why Tatiana blew up her grandfather, George Abbott, and everyone else still on the train. These things all remain a mystery. Only Kath, Anna, and the dog Max survive, and Anna goes off to join the war, which will last for several years. This game was a monumental flop. It was released just as the company Broderbund, its first distributor, was going under. It was re-released by Interplay in 1999, 2 years after its initial release, in an extremely slapdash manner. That's the version I have, and it was done so sloppily that the Windows icon for the game is actually spelled wrong. Needless to say, then, the game never got a sequel. Mechner moved on to the Sands of Time trilogy, and this magnificent experiment was deemed a failure. A lot of people have written about The Last Express, about how its overall style reflects an age of art and sensibility that only existed around the turn of the century, before the Great War. The Great War was the most horrible thing anyone had ever seen, and it prevailed for the next 4 years. And the bright, decorative color, the flat patterning, and the strong lines of the Art Nouveau movement gave way to modernism. And a sense of magic and adventure of the late 19th century was confronted by the grim reality of mechanized war. What I like about the game is that it straddles these two things. Kath is a mystic doctor who is also a gun runner for terrorists. The story itself is extremely romantic, and yet it also shows the ugly reality of how Eastern Europe was conniving for war. I'm not altogether sure that we've seen the last of Robert Kath. Jordan Mechner has been trying to get a movie of the story made for years. Paul Verhoeven was rumored to have been attached to it in 2010, and in late 2011 he actually confirmed it. But I haven't seen anything since then. Anyway, thank you for watching this playthrough. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed putting it together.